All right, welcome to the podcast, Troy and Tanner, OFA Fit, with our first guest, Maguire Dunks, aka Sam Snyder. So
Thank
appreciate you joining us. Yeah, it's awesome. I guess we'll just jump right into it. So the first thing we want to go over is just your background of your athletic profile, like what sports you played growing up, any
you.
of maybe injury history you might have, and then whether you're more just on the court or if you're a lifter, that basic overview.
Okay, so I actually, I've always been pretty athletic and, fast growing up. I've played basketball for my whole life. I played all throughout high school, played a little bit of football in high school, but I was never the best at basketball. I was just an athletic kid, so it made me look like I was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Um,
What'd you
so,
play?
excuse me,
What'd you play in football? What position?
I was a wide receiver,
I could see that.
but I didn't like getting hit, so I quit after my freshman year. But after my senior year of basketball, I decided to run track just for the fun of it. So after my first few meets, I was like, I found out I was pretty good at running track. Um, Decided to throw away basketball, and now my life's about track. And I ended up going to University of Arkansas, and I walk on to run the 100 meter.
Nice.
But I think it was February, I was already off the team at that point. I was super far behind in my classes. I wasn't a very good student at the time, and then I had already planned on transferring to Oklahoma State University to run track there. And I had already spoken with the coaches. They had liked me and everything, but around April, I got into a serious motorcycle accident.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was injured for about a year before I was fully able to start getting back into jumping, running, lifting, and all that. At this point, OSU had found out I got hurt and stopped talking to me. And then I had decided to not go back to school actually at that point. But one of my buddies, he convinced me to come to tech. And I was, at this point, I had basically fully healed. And I discovered what the gym was. So I basically fell in love with the weight room, still not really back into sports. And then
You
I
had
think,
not before that. You had not lifted at all. This was your first time lifting, or did you lift?
oh yeah, I did not lift in high school.
Okay.
So I was pretty new to lifting and everything. Let's see, where was I going? It wasn't.
Room.
Oh yeah, weight room. And then I think it was about a year ago. I started getting into dunking. My dunking page actually originated as a lifting page,
Okay.
and it turned out I enjoyed dunking more, and people liked seeing me dunk more. And since then, Maguire Fit turned into Maguire Dunks.
Nice. Very cool. And so it seems like the track background kind of was the foundation of your training, and then lifting just gave you that like super boost that you.
Yeah.
Was it a very fast rise for you in terms of your improvement?
So back when I ran track, I was actually a 1 foot jumper because I was fast at the time. And jumping off of one, it's more of a speed jump than like strength. And then when I started getting into the weight room, I actually had to switch to jumping to 2 feet because I started feeling a lot more comfortable, and I started seeing more and more improvement faster that way.
Okay.
And so as I started, putting more weight on the squat bar, I just started jumping higher and higher.
So let's hear your PRs. Like, what's your best track event? You said you're 6'1", and how much do you weigh?
I am 175.
6'1",
Big
175.
guy.
It seems to be like the golden ticket for weight for a lot of these dunkers I've seen, like between 170 and 180. Yeah, right. Yeah, right in there. And yeah, tell us about your PRs, like best squat, best vertical, all that stuff.
So I actually don't know my vertical. I'm 6'1". My head would be 47 inches from a 10-foot rim, and I have been able to get here with the rim, my eyebrows with the rim before.
Okay.
So I don't want to say a number, but I know it's at least like 45 plus, something around there for my.
That's very good. Very.
And squat, as I mean, you guys are gym freaks too. I know that. You guys know squat is a dangerous lift. I'm not a fan of going too heavy, but the most I've ever done on squat, I hit, I think it was 405 for 3 reps.
Okay. That's great. At 175, that's really good. That's really good.
I can deadlift about 415 for one. Uh, my bench, I'm not a big bencher, but my best bench I've ever hit was 250.
Okay.
And then let's see, 100, I was a pretty fast kid. I could run a 10.5.
Nice.
In high school, my 40-yard dash, I got it laser timed at Michael Johnson's Performance Center. I ran a 4.36.
Woo! On the Chiefs offense.
I At this point, I was like, maybe I should try football again.
I bet you could do some arena football if you really wanted to do something. Now you would probably need to bulk up. You probably need to bulk up to hang in any sort of competitive football, though.
I'm a small guy. I'm afraid of getting hit once, and I'll be down for the count.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Were you planning to go to dunk camp this year?
I was planning to go to dunk camp this year. Pretty bummed to hear that it's not happening.
Did you opt for the option to go next year and get the free swag and everything?
Oh yeah, picked option to get the free video training.
Who were you most looking forward to see? Like, who's your favorite dunker? Who do you want to dunk on too?
I've been following this dude for, I don't know, since I was probably 14, 15 years old. Jordan Kilgannon.
Yeah, the king.
The myth killer.
Yeah.
That ever since I saw him just scorpion, I was like, how do you do that? How do you turn your body like that? And I thought it was just the coolest thing. And he's really the reason I got into dunking.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Now the person if we're talking about like professional dunkers, the one I want to dunk on, it's tough. It's either between Chris Staples because he's always got that grin on his face.
Yep.
I want to maybe take it off him.
Oh.
Or maybe Guy Dupuis.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Confident, can be a little on the cocky side. Might try putting him in his place.
Have you met a lot of these guys already, or are you just kind of breaking into the community slowly?
I have only really talked to Jordan a little bit. As you guys know, we all dunked with Connor Barth together. So that was actually awesome for me. That was so fun.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah Rivera too. I'm actually in the middle of doing his training that he has THP. And so I've gotten to talk with him and he's been helping me out with training. So that's been awesome too.
Nice. Okay, so that's your training right now is the THP.
That's what I just started that about a week ago, and it's been killing me.
Really? What are they doing?
A lot of sprints, and I am not in the shape I used to be 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, because you've been going to like a football field to go do your workouts, right?
So I have there's a middle school right by my house.
Okay.
Use their track and their football field for everything I need to do, and I'll have friends come up with me to help me, push me a little bit, motivate me some more, make sure I don't pass out, be stranded there.
Yep. Drink plenty of water.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. All right. What about, we are curious to hear about your stance on like stretching, mobility. Like, what kind of flexibility do you have, and do you think it's important?
So I'm actually in the middle of working on my flexibility. I'm standing up, no problem touching my toes. Sitting down, I can barely reach my ankles. I think flexibility is actually definitely one of the most important things that you need to be just an athletic person, like to be athletic.
Yep.
You could reach a peak and not push past it if you have no flexibility. And then it's just as easy to push past it as you gain more and more flexibility to get better and better afterwards.
When you say flexibility, do you think there's any particular area of your body that you need to be flexible to be a good dunker?
I think ankle flexibility is really big, hamstrings for sure, and you have to have great mobility.
Yeah, hips, yeah.
If you have tight hips, you're not leaving the ground.
Yeah. When you're dunking, do you feel it more of a contraction in your glute or in your knees or both?
Early on in my I can really feel it in my knees, but as my body loosens up, more just it's just full body, just it's all working together, helping me
Yeah.
out.
I think that's something that people when you're not jumping your highest and you start to feel knee pain, it's probably like your glutes are shutting off. And whenever you feel like everything's working in sequence, we're golfers, so whenever you're golfing and your swing sucks ass, it's usually because it's out of sequence. And it's the same thing in jumping. It's more complicated than people give it credit for to go up and dunk, because you have to have the ball in your hand, you have to sometimes
Mhm.
pull with it, or if you're catching lobs, there's the whole timing aspect of that too. So it's pretty complicated movement. So interesting to hear your thoughts on that too. Have you ever had any injuries then? Besides, I know you had the motorcycle crash, but I'm talking non-contact, like through your own training. Have you injured yourself that way?
So back when I was training in the summer after my high school year, so the summer of 2017, I was very injury prone. I so in my right leg, I bruise up or I break bones, and in my left leg, I pull or tear muscles. And that summer, I don't know how many times I pulled or tore a muscle in my left leg, and it was brutal.
How'd you overcome that?
I just rested, had to keep stretching it, I had to let it heal. You can't push a sore muscle like that.
No,
It'll just make it worse.
I think we've all learned that the hard way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we've had some back injuries through squatting. You're talking about hip mobility. If you I feel like if you don't have the mobility to like sit into the squat, if you know what I mean, like at the bottom, then your back can kind of, you
Mm.
know, round at the bottom, kind of like butt wink. And I've literally felt at the bottom like a sharp sensation just shoot up. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, and you're out for like a week after that. You know what I mean? At least.
That actually happened to me when I was doing the 405 for sure.
Oh, really? You hurt yourself on the max out?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
see,
then I've had a lot of low back problems too, mainly from hang cleaning. I think I just like threw it too hard with my hips and threw my back out, I guess. But right now, I went to the chiropractor for a lot about my lower back, and it feels perfect. No problems.
nice. Would you say that you're jumping your highest right now, or there's been a time before where you're kind of chasing what you've done, in the past?
I think in terms of height, I'm a little bit higher, if not tied, because when I used to jump off of 1 foot, I could jump pretty much as high as I can now, but I could not do any of the dunks I could.
Yeah, so you're getting more skilled with the.
Mhm. But I think I hang in the air more, so it allows me to do more dunks. Add something to my bag
Yep.
than just jumping high for 1 foot.
What's the coolest dunk you've done in a game that you can recall off the top of your?
Um, I
Like,
guess I've hit a windmill in a game,
really nice.
but I mean, if I'm dunking in a game, I'm definitely hit dunking it as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I'm more of a power. If it's in a game, I want to be powerful rather than stylish.
Yeah. That's you want to dunk on people's lives, basically.
I love dunking on people.
So, can you still dunk off your 1 foot plant as well as your 2 foot plant, or have you just completely lost that 1 foot?
So I can actually dunk off all four.
Good, nice.
I can dunk left, right, right, left foot, and right foot.
Okay, what about standing?
Oh, it's a straight vert, of course.
Yeah, okay, I figured. I figured. So you got the whole package. That's great. Do you,
That's
when you're doing your training, do you make sure to alternate and practice all of them equally?
I really only practice my left right jump because that's the one I use the most. But in dunk sessions, every once in a while, I like to mess around with my right left because that makes you can open up your body more and you can get better looking windmills like that. But I just don't get anywhere near the height I do when I jump off my left right.
Okay. What about how many jump sessions per week do you try to make sure you get in?
So prior to starting with THP, I was dunking probably 4 to 5 times a week.
Oh wow.
It was mainly because of the quarantine. I don't have weights. I had nothing else to keep me active, and I just saw that as a perfect opportunity. Prior to quarantine, though, I was probably dunking or jumping about 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay, and have you found any particular frequency to be more or less effective?
I feel like I have just been getting better and better as I've been jumping more. So lately, as I've been dunking more, like jumping 5 times a week, I feel like that's been helping more than doing it less than I used to.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. What's that setup you got too? I see. Is that your backyard that you got those dunks going, or
So the one with the blacktop floor,
that's super nice.
that's actually a church, probably 3 minute walk from my house,
Okay.
and it's adjustable hoop, so I can practice on low room there too, and that's been really fun.
Where are you at now, by the way? I forgot to ask.
So I recently just drove here about a week ago. I went from Dallas. I'm back in Lubbock right now. I'm back at Texas Tech. And so my recent video that I put out, that was at one of my buddy's apartment complex.
In Lubbock,
Yes.
but you've been dunking in Dallas otherwise.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, so how about this? What are your goals by the end of 2020? I know that things may have gotten shifted, obviously, because Corona thwarts all. But what are your goals going forward? Do you have anything written out, or how do you go about that?
If we're talking dunking, I want to be able to, I can hit a between the legs every now and again, but I want to be able to do it very consistently. I
Okay.
want to be able to walk onto a basketball court, already warmed up, take a couple dribbles, and just go between the legs and shock everybody.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That sounds like a that's like an end of 2020 goal. Or you think you'll hit it before then?
Lately I've actually been seeing it be a lot more consistent, but I'm still like, you guys don't see how many times I miss it behind the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. So, excuse me?
Highlights only.
Oh yeah. I don't post low lights,
I
but
I remember someone saying that their shooting percentage on Instagram is 100%.
I mean, 50% of the time I'll make it 100% of the time.
Exactly. But no, we ironically with Dunk Camp canceling with Andy sending the email, we're actually gonna have him on the podcast next.
Really?
Yeah. So did you go in 2019, or would this have been your first time as well?
This would have been my first time because I started getting into dunking, I think it was like August 2019.
Yeah.
So I've just been it for a little under a year now.
Where do you see the dunk community going in terms of, do you think more and more people are just going to start pages and try to get dunk Instagrams going, or do you think it's kind of at an all-time high right now? And what are your thoughts on that growing trend?
I've been thinking about that quite often because, before I had a dunking Instagram, I never saw any of these other, like, I would have never saw my account on my actual Instagram, which I don't even use anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's just going to keep growing. Um, it's something that it's basically a sport without being good at a sport.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's just you have to be athletic to do it. It's it's the track version of basketball, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And in golf terms, it's like, you ever see long drive?
Mhm.
It's literally just how far can you hit a golf ball. It's the exact same concept. You just take the skill and the actual like strategy of the game of golf, and you just turn it into golf ball mashing. Well, it's the same thing with dunking. You just take like the most athletic thing you can do in basketball and just make a whole show out of it.
Doing it a lot and over.
Do you think that there's a quote unquote minimum height for dunking?
Absolutely not.
Who's the shortest dunker you've ever seen?
Andrew McFly.
Okay. Have you seen him in person?
I've not. I want to. I feel like that'd be so cool to see.
Where is he based? Do you know?
Um,
Is he one of those Florida goons?
is he Florida or is he California?
I think he is a coastal guy, but I don't know which one either.
Because I've seen him with Elijah Bonds, and Elijah Bonds is partnered with Venice, right? Is that right? Am I wrong?
I
don't
am not
know
familiar
enough
with.
about it,
Yeah, I don't
bro.
know. I'm not familiar with Raja. I know like a good amount of the guys just from watching like Basketball, Steven Selly,
Uh,
Chris Staples, all those guys, everyone from Dunk Camp basically. We've been following the scene ever since. You know who Jacob Tucker is?
I don't think so.
Look him up. That's your required reading. The 2011 NCAA Slam Dunk champion. He's a 5'10" white guy who won the championship, and he claims to have gotten to 50 inches. We think he's right. He's in the 45 plus category for sure, but you never know. You know how accurate 50 inches. You gotta go on the vertex. It's hard to tell exactly. But he was kind of like, what? Like you can do that at 5'10"? Holy hell!
Yeah.
And then as we got to work in the weight room, that's literally our inspiration. Ever since we saw him, it was like, all right, I guess it's possible. And then Steven Selly, Steven got the same beard and hair as we do, so yeah, it's like damn, probably can get this done.
Yeah, Steve, I don't know. He's a crazy guy.
He is. I think he relies more on speed and technique than just sheer force production, because I don't know that I've seen him really squat above
315.
even 315 on like a box squat. So that's even easier than deep squatting. But I think if he worked on his mobility and strength a little bit more, he'd be breaking through his plateau that he's at right now. I'd love to tell him that in person, but in dunk camp's not happening. But I guess one final question before we are about to run out of time here. What do you think in terms of trying to establish like a DFW or maybe Texas crew of dunkers? Yes.
I'm in.
We got 3 of us right here. A couple of guys we can probably find throughout the area. I know there are a lot of guys that showed up at that one thing,
DFW thing.
Yeah.
But
I know plenty of Texas dunkers.
do you?
Oh yeah.
How big is your little crew?
Let's see. I got one of my roommates. He can get up pretty well. There's about 10 of us here.
Oh shit. Okay, we do have quite a bit then.
Oh yeah.
We were thinking once the gyms are open again and fully functional, and probably I would guess in the late summer for Texas, because I know we're starting to begin the process now. But Troy and I were even thinking of hosting our kind of mini quasi dunk camp and just renting out a gym here in Dallas and inviting the crew to come through.
I'm totally in.
You're in. All right, our first attendee. We'll keep you posted on that. But any final questions or thoughts before we wrap it up?
So you guys were talking a little bit about golf earlier. My brother's a golfer and he's very good. For one, I suck. You guys have any tips? I can chip, I can putt, I cannot drive.
Well, just like your dunk practice, you have to practice playing golf. I mean, we played since we were in 7th grade and terrible. And unfortunately, it's a game that doesn't come like natural to most, except like, Tiger Woods and now his little kid, Charlie. But if you got a lesson, I know you're already very athletic and you went to a PGA pro, they could get you playing a lot better very quickly just by teaching you how to move your body, because you're already good at moving. If you don't know maybe what to do, once you figure that out, your game's going to get a lot better really quick. I would say in the meantime, though, if you have a set of clubs, just take your driver out and set up a tee. You don't even have to put a ball on it. And I would just take, 25 practice swings and just try to sweep the tee without knocking it out of the ground.
Okay.
Set up every time. Look up on YouTube or even on our Instagram how we set up.
I'm gonna definitely check out y'all's golfing.
And yeah, we can even shoot you more tips like through the DMs or send you little video clips for how to grip the club and whatnot. But
I got the wrapped pinkies.
So I would just say take 20 to 25 swings, just sweep that tee, and then the next time you're out on the course, you'll have the right angle of attack, and just you don't want to chop the driver. You want to just sweep the ball right off the tee and launch it. So
okay.
That's probably the best advice to give without being too specific or overcomplicated.
All right. That sounds good.
All right, where can people follow you?
Maguire_Dunks on Instagram.
Follow him. He's a freak athlete, and yeah, we hope to see you soon after this all ends up.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Appreciate you being on as well.